Guitar plays splendid. Guitar plays splendid. Guitar plays splendid. Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new. take you for your money, whatever else bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me.
Yeah, hit me. Oh, there we are.
Oh. There we go. We're on. Sorry, guys. We're a little late tonight. Had a little technical difficulties as usual. Let me turn this dumb thing off. And welcome to AstroWorld again.
Hi. Welcome to AstroWorld and Daniel's shoulder. Hi from. I can hear you, Daniel.
Oh my goodness, did I have the wrong thing on? I apologize, guys. Can you hear me now? Please tell me you can hear me. Oh God, I blame it on everybody. I apologize. Let me know if you can hear me now. Oh my God. Hold on a second. They were making fun of us. They want to know if anybody could read lips. It cut out. There we go. I got thumbs up now. Okay. I apologize. I clicked the wrong button. That's better. Okay. Everybody, Tim, say something. Can everybody hear Tim?
Hi, hi everybody from episode 7. We're in a time machine here. We're in our own world here, aren't we? We're but
so
hey,
Steve, Adam, Bill,
Steve, Adam, Bill, hi.
Everybody, hi. Everyone's saying thumbs up. Good, fixed. There we go. Okay, thank God we didn't go 3 hours and then all of a sudden figure out we didn't have any.
Yeah,
sound.
but we could easily have done, because I can hear you perfectly, Dan. No echo, no squeak, no dog this week. No dog this week. Is your dog's all right?
My dogs are crazy, and for those of you guys, they're nuts too. We let them out the back door, and they go out. And Tarek says hi. Steve Flanagan.
Oh, hi, Tarek.
Adam, Bill Brown, Mike Divine. We got 15, 16 people watching.
Okay,
Jason,
right.
So we got a lot of people on. So thank you guys for coming on. Just on a side note, and I'm not going to mention any names. And it has nothing to do with coronavirus or anything, but I just want to relay some condolences. One of our members' fathers passed away today. And I just wanted to send out my condolence to his family. It has nothing to do with coronavirus. I just want to say that out there quick. I just want to relay my condolences to that member, and our hearts and thoughts are with his family. So I just wanted to say that. That being said, I know Tim is doing, and I don't know if anybody heard what you were doing.
No, they're gone. Now they know I'm mental. Does that translate a bit?
So, we were talking a little bit about the craziness going around in the world, and I guess that's what we would kind of been opening it up with, not really astrophotography about, but also what's going on
the topics of the day.
And there's only one topic. There's only one topic,
Well,
but,
well, there's two, because it's clear out tonight, and I'm imaging. So because we did have the mics on, so please forgive me, everybody. Well, I'm just going to look here. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking here, because right there is the image that I'm about to click on. And would you mind if I just press my guider, please?
Go do what you got.
Is that right? I can hear you perfectly. And I thought we were going to grab some. I thought we had a better question than turn the mic on. But
no, we didn't. Everybody is just wondering why there was no sound, and they thought that I was going to start doing my young Frankenstein. Put the candle back. But I might be.
Do you dress up for that? I think that
absolutely
good. I'm going to be through your pictures. You're rather too good at that.
So that being said, what are you imaging tonight? Since you got clear skies and I don't.
Right. Well, I tell you what. I am going to press this, and I've got to say. Again, another forgive me. This is the 5th night in a row. I stayed up to do some processing and follow Amy Little's tutorial using Fixing Sight. Yeah, Amy Astro, exactly. Hashtag Amy Astro. Because I was getting some terrible glow that I couldn't get rid of, and I didn't know what was going on. And anyway, she did done this beautiful tutorial, and it really helped, but it took all night. And I sort of, how it is. You go through and you shrug it. We're Astro folks, and you shrug it off and you catnap a little bit, and you think you catch up. But I haven't. I absolutely haven't. It's been clear, and it's clear again after the winter of the ultimate winter of despair. It's crystal clear again, and straight up there is really. So please, that's a very long-winded begging letter to go. Hence having my imaging, this tradition for me, imaging equals gym jams on. So I'm just going to budge, move Seffi, if you'll pardon that, into position, and then I'm all yours. And I've budged it the wrong way already. This is why I find live streaming to be. I'd rather you're on the screen at the moment. Look, come on, budge, budge, budge. I'm doing it. In actual fact, we did we settle on the subject, Dan? Because we've put up choosing a subject, but I think you've got more to say on acquiring a subject.
Acquiring.
Well,
okay.
the tools of acquisition, because you're a sequence generator pro expert, and tonight I find myself using SharpCat Pro, no plate solving. This is all extremely manual here at the moment.
Okay, well that's very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Courageous. so
That's
you know,
polite.
I don't know. You know, that's probably why I was such a horrible astrophotographer in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't acquire anything. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't get in focus. Now people are spoiled now. We have auto micro focusers and plate solving and cameras that are polar line for you and all this stuff now. I mean, I remember getting a crick in my neck for like a week just trying to polar align an equatorial mount because you're looking underneath through a polar scope like this and trying to do one of these.
I've never successfully done that. Right, I've never actually managed to look through a polar scope and see anything coherent at all.
No.
Actually, without my eyes blurring over, you know, that was fun. I never got it until Polemaster.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I never really got a really accurate alignment with the polar scope until digital, you know, came out when Polemaster QHY came out with that Polemaster.
Right, gotcha. Now we're all experts, aren't we?
Oh yeah, it doesn't. rotate, you're done. You know, I mean, it's that easy.
Is it all too easy?
I mean, not that I'm complaining.
Well, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be sitting here. I'd be asleep and reading the magazine of in the bathtub.
Adam Corbett said you should try it in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah. What do you use? How do you do it?
I think it's Sigma octans, if I remember right. That's the star that's closest to the southern, even though it's not really that close. I don't think.
Right.
It's further
the other
from
one.
the southern pole than Polaris is from the northern.
But I'd have no chance.
Adam. I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong about that. I think it's Sigma octans, if I remember right.
Right.
If not, I could be wrong. I've never even seen anything. The closest I got to the southern hemisphere was on a boat in Mexico, and it's like a floating city, so you saw no stars. So
right, okay.
But
that's not fair.
But I heard it's quite a challenge, and I wonder if Polemaster has a southern hemisphere.
Yes, it does. I'm sure it does.
It's got to, right?
Of course it does. Yeah, they'd be killing themselves out of half the market. Yeah, of course it does. Sure it does.
Adam confirmed it is Sigma octans, but we use 4 stars, not just 1. So I guess it's kind of like in the middle, kind of. If I remember right, it's kind of like, if I remember as octans, it's kind of like an octagon or some kind of weird shape.
Is that where it gets its name from?
Amy Astro popped on and said hi.
Oh, hi, Amy. Hi, Amy. I'm not plate solving. Shut up. Get
Amy,
over it.
We're going to get you there. I'm telling you, you're at 984 subscribers. I'm telling you, we're doing the best we can to help you out. So if you guys don't know Amy Astro, help her get over 1,000. I mean, she's so close, and she's only been on YouTube like 8 or 9 months or so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Amy. I don't know, but you've been doing outstanding work on that for such a short period of time. Nice job with that. I hope you're all safe and happy and healthy and all that. So
984.
Yeah, 984.
94. 6 to go.
984.
84, right. 16 to go. Right. Okay.
Alan Mitchell wants to know: does anybody drift a line anymore?
I've never done it. But I'm hoping to.
Yeah, I used to drift a line. That was the only real way to kind of get anything. Um,
It does sound cool, doesn't it? It sounds
well,
very.
you know,
It sounds very Californian.
yeah, I'm drifting. Hey, I'm gonna go drifting. But anyway, you know, drift aligning is interesting because if I remember the concept, because I've been using PoleMaster since it came out. So, but drift aligning, basically, what you did was you would guide, then you would turn your guiding off, and
Mm,
then you would look at which way the star moved, and then you
yes.
would adjust like a quarter of the way in a diagonal kind of weird kind of way to get it kind of pushed towards the center, and then do it again, and then you would go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth
Half
until it
the
started to move.
distance. Half the
That
distance. A bit like taking
it's
the.
ha- is it,
Bit
yeah,
like
it's like half the distance, right? Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. Half the distance. Do it again. But that sounds. I mean, here's the thing. Actually, with PoleMaster, if I do my PM straight away at dusk, and then I check it again, go back to park, check it again later on,
Right.
it's dropped a little bit. So I
Yeah.
find the refractive index of the, does it change at dusk as it
Does
gets to dark? Does it, because it appears to shift that, it appears to me to shift my template star a little bit, and
oh
so I
yeah.
always PM when I do, when I rarely do now because I'm on the steel pole. So when I PM, I always do it later on. Normally, people will do that, obviously for obvious reasons, do their polar alignment first, get on with the night's work. But I've been polar aligning at midnight and getting a different result.
Alan Mitchell is online. Alan, how you doing? We've been trying to get together for like a year to do something, and you know we haven't connected. Hey Alan, since you're watching, maybe since we're all on lockdown, maybe we could get together and do something. Alan has a great tutorial on YouTube regarding um, uh, basically it's how to
Come
consolidate
back.
your wires and
Oh, good.
how
I
to
need to know
power
that.
with a rig runner. I don't know if you know what a rig runner is, but we did.
Right, I've heard of a rig runner. Do you
I
know
have.
what a rig runner is, Dan?
Yeah, yeah, I've used it. I have
Right,
two.
tell me more.
So basically, what a rig runner is, and I have it. It's upstairs. I don't have it down here. But what a rig runner is, basically, it's a power distribution module,
Gotcha.
and it's all based on something called power pole connectors, and they're little connectors like this. I don't know if you can tell
Gotcha.
it all,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I can see that. Yeah,
okay.
gotcha.
So one's
Gotcha.
black and one's red though on the other side, so
Mhm,
you can kind of easily tell
mhm.
which one is which.
Yeah,
I hope none of you know what this battery is for, but that's okay. but
your hearing aid.
that yeah, exactly. So and you can actually have different fused connectors. You can have 4, 8, 12, I think 16 USB, whatever you
Right.
want in there.
Mhm.
And it's all powered by one battery. So
Right,
1 hour.
right, right, right.
So this was, of course, before I got the Eagle. I used this, and it worked very
Yeah,
well
yeah, yeah,
because what I did was I cut all my wires. Like I cut them all to make them like this, like the power pole. So I had the connector side on
yeah, yeah,
top,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
and
you've
then I
got
would
all the
have
right.
this on the other one, so it would all be in
Sure.
there. So if one thing popped, which it never did, by the way, it never popped. No fuse
Okay.
popped.
Okay.
But all you had to do is pop the fuse, and it wouldn't hurt your camera. It wouldn't hurt your electrodes in the camera. It would get to the fuse first. That's the
Right.
best thing about it. But the
Right.
great thing is, you take this rig runner, and you
Mhm,
put it on top or to the side or somewhere on your mount, and it
mhm.
moves with the mount. And the wires are so short because you made them yourself.
Is this the daddy of the Eagle, the Pegasus? I
Well,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
that's about all.
Probably the grandfather, I think.
Right, right. Gotcha.
Because you got to remember, you see, like I guess I would say grandfather is the power pole, and then you have Pegasus would be the daddy, and then um, and then the Eagle would be the baby because it's a brand new one, more or less. So
Sure.
because as you get more technology is added on to each one as you go. So power pole, power pole connectors. That's all it is. It's just power. Let's see.
But that was all we wanted, right? Sorry, excuse me. I'm half in wondering why my guiding's just gone to pants. So yeah, forgive me. I can hear everything you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I was reading the comments as well because we got a lot of comments going by.
bash through them, mate.
So Adam, TSX is all I have used. It has a great polar alignment procedure. What's TSX?
TSX.
Interesting. I don't know.
No, me neither. Me
I
neither.
have to look that up. TSX. I don't know what that is. All I know is it comes up with an S&P and the markets look horrible. So I don't know. I don't know what TSX is. So if you could elaborate. Oh, the Sky. The SkyX.
The SkyX, right.
The SkyX. Okay, yes, absolutely. The SkyX is good. I've never used it for polar alignment. Not sure about the procedure on it. I should have put TSX.
Me neither.
Everyone's yelling at me. Don't you know it's the SkyX? Sorry, guys. I apologize.
Well, I've never used it. I don't think I've even seen it. Is it horribly crusty? Yeah.
No. The SkyX is very well. Actually, I've had the Sky 6. I've never had the SkyX. Although I've heard with the SkyX, it's very streamlined. It's very good. It's very easily.
What does it look like? Stellarium or Carte de Seal?
It's a well, it looks more like and more graphical like Stellarium.
Right.
And but it's a lot more functional. It's a lot more functional.
Gotcha.
It's more like even imagine I guess Maxim DL with a nice sky map.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's right. So is that like with an integrated sequencer in it then?
No, I don't think so.
What does Maxim DL even do?
Maxim DL does everything. It's Sequence Generator Pro, but it's very, very.
Right.
I actually have it. I bought it like 10 years ago. I bought Maxim 4. Spent like $600 on this program.
Yeah. I heard it's that's a serious. Mind you, software was a little bit.
This is an all-in-one everything Maxim. This Maxim will do everything all the way up to post-processing.
Gotcha.
So it'll acquire, it'll run.
So it's a jack.
It does everything.
It's a bit of a jack.
Little bit.
Is that that's never
Dennis
good,
Wild says hi. Dennis is coming in.
Hey, Dennis.
South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Amy was actually 7 months today on YouTube.
Doesn't it make you sick? How many to go? 16.
Yeah, 16 to go. She's been on 7 months. I've been on.
I don't know what the appeal is, to be honest.
Nobody likes me. It's okay. It's all right. I do this because I like doing this with everybody, and I like meeting people. So, and
that's a good job too.
Alan Mitchell, he was talking about his setup, and he explained also. I did know this. He was running with an Intel Compute Stick. To run his whole rig runner.
It's very right. Can we share some? Can we make sure people join the club and share their pictures? That would be all rather beautiful and perfect.
Yeah,
for me.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Join the club and share your pictures because I would really like to know a lot more about a. I'd like to see a rig runner. If anybody's got an antique rig runner that hasn't electrocuted them, I'd like to see that.
You're gonna make me go get it now. So.
Oh really? Oh okay. No, I can't stand up, so I'm in a pair of pajamas with the novelty.
For 2 seconds, I know exactly where mine is. So hold on a second.
Oh really? Oh, is it me? Oh okay. Oh dear. Well, hello everybody. I'm calibrating now because my guiding. So this is an EQ8 Pro R, and my guiding's just fallen to pieces. So I'm having a little calibration corner on my own, a corner of shame, because that was all working perfectly a minute ago, and I've got a horrible feeling. I do hope I haven't got the cable caught around my ankle out there. But yeah, apart from that, this is the fifth night of clear skies after 5 months of nothing. Absolutely big, fat, bottomed zero, and I'm absolutely shattered. And I've run out of alcohol as well because it's lockdown and alcohol's not. So I've got squash or cordial, I think you might call it, and it's It's just not the same. It's not the same. Daniel, that's a nice clean shirt. Were you at work today? He hasn't got his ears on. Hang on.
All right, I'm back. All right.
Oh, you're back. That's a nice clean shirt, Daniel. Were you at work today?
Yeah, I was.
Nice.
But, all right. So, Rig Runner. Let's see. Hold on. Let's go through before. We got a lot of
Before it
content
falls
here.
into pieces, into dust.
So, running into Amy Astro, Alan Mitchell, and it was piggybacked right on the OTA. Everything slewed with the telescope as it moved. Mark Ellis said, "Good evening."
Good evening. Oh, Mark. Oh, right, Mark. I got your messages, Mark. Mark.
Go get your cup. Go get your shine box, Mark.
I got your.
That cup was mine. It was mine.
Right, I got you. Hold on, Dan. Mark, I got your messages. I had a big backlog of messages, and I'll reply to you after the show. And this image, which is shaping up here. So thank you very much. All sorted. Nice one, my son.
Divine says, "I just use SharpCap for polar alignment."
And isn't it jolly good? I'm a convert. We talked about this. We're all big thumbs. We're two thumbs up. Yeah. So compared with what I've been used to, SharpCaps.
I'm gonna get really close to the mic to say this, so I shouldn't be saying this, but. And it's only about $10 a year.
Did I spend 200? I think I spent 280 quid, 250 quid on a Polemaster.
Me too.
Polemaster, yeah. And SharpCap does it for a tenner and a load of other stuff because you need sensor analysis. You need frame of you need the frame of focus and bits and bobs on it are always useful. And I'm actually, I think I mentioned I'm in Children's Corner again tonight. I shouldn't say that. We're so critical of these things. I'm in Children's Corner. I'm not on Sequence Generator Pro or Maxim DL or anything else. I'm on SharpCap.
Yep.
And
I just started using SharpCap. I just started using it for my mini. Right.
Well, that's the thing. If you haven't got what are its limitations? Doesn't run a wheel. Doesn't plate solve.
What? Yeah, it does.
Does it?
SharpCap?
Does it?
SharpCap, yeah. So when you
I shall have a look.
On the scope controls on the right side. There is a little button that has a circle and a crosshair on it.
Dear Lord.
That's your plate solver.
Gotcha. Right. I shall. I'm not going to click on it now. I'm not foolish or brave.
We got a lot more comments here. Do you guys have any experience with Prism Astro software? I have not used Prism. I haven't even seen it. I know what you're talking about, Steve. I don't. What is he talking about, Daniel? It's another piece of software, kind of like if I correct me if I'm wrong, Steven. It's kind of like SharpCap. I forget who it's put out by. Now you're gonna make me look it up. Prism software.
We're googling. Is it free?
Hyperion, sorry. Prism 1.0. Yeah, it's out by it's by a company called Hyperion. And they got a whole bunch of pop-ups.
Nice.
They have an 80-day trial.
Interesting.
Runs alone. No need for. Okay, so it has everything. It's got plate solving. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same thing. It's another automated type program like SGP or anything like that. I have not used it though. So.
Does it have a price ticket?
There's an 80-day free trial.
That's a lifetime at the moment.
No, you ain't kidding. Well, maybe with you. No, we still got. No matter what, we're still in New York and the land of the crappy weather. So, buy Prism. Upgrades. Wow. Okay, Prism 10 Light is 129. Advanced is 449.
Oh,
And the Professional's 299.
okay.
So it looks like if you want all the bells and whistles, it looks like it's got scope modeling and
It's going to need some cowbell and a choice of whistles for
it looks like
449.
it looks like it's got some sort of pre and post processing software
Mhm.
also. So
Mhm.
um,
So what do you think? How much automation do you want?
I mean, I think well, for
Will
me,
you
Super
lose the
Stereo
essence?
Pro works just fine. Even that may be a little too much
Mhm.
for me because I don't have like let's
Oh
say.
yeah.
I don't have the cloud
D-
sensors and
Dome
automated
control.
observatories. I don't
Yeah,
have any
yeah.
of that, unfortunately. You
No.
are the lucky guy.
I've got a shed with a hole in the roof. It's
That's
not a
okay.
real observatory.
Let's see.
It's just got a hole in a strategic place.
You can sequence with the sky, but it's not very robust. You can't do
Mhm.
multiple targets in a single sequence.
Right.
Eric says, "Good evening, guys."
Hey, Eric.
The Sky X is working on the sequencing. Their team, Dennis. I know Dennis is a big.
Is he waving the flag? Is he? Yeah.
He's a software-based guy.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. This
share your.
screen.
Oh, they want you to share your screen.
My screen.
Yeah.
It's a screen of shame. Well, I tell you what. I sent. We'll set that up actually. Obviously not this week because if we touch anything, it will break.
Yeah.
But
Don't touch anything. Leave it alone.
we will set that up. I did send Daniel an example of what I've been working on.
Oh yeah.
Put that pen down. I've been waving that around.
We'll get through these comments and I'll throw up the.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Simply because I'd never used a. Oh, that doesn't look good. I'd never used a quad band filter before, and I have now, and I quite like it. So if there's any quaddies or tri-bands out there, hit me up of whatever brand. I'm using an Altair brand. I know Amy has got a. I think she's got a tri-band, but I don't know if she's processed anything yet. But I now have with my clumsy sausages. You can't really call it processing. It's prodding.
Your sausage fingers. What do you got? They're laughing at us. Tim Hall, how did you get your hands on an EQ8R? Nobody has any in stock.
Oh, it's a while back. It's not the one. It's not the one with the encoders. I think they all get called R Pros, and then there's another letter. So don't get it confused. All it is.
I'm sorry. He didn't say Pro. I said Pro. Just
No. It is a Pro. No, it is a Pro. They're all pros, but there's two. As far as I know. So again, shoot me if I'm wrong. There's two models. There's the basic model, and then there's one with a Renishaw encoder, which I haven't got because it was another grand or two or something, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if I want it. So I got the cheap version. If £3,000 is cheap, but
no, it's not cheap.
it's, yeah. But the deal really for me was, and we talked about this, Daniel. Once you are obsessed and addicted, you can talk yourself into any corner, can't you? Really, and I talked myself into it, and now it's too late. Now it's bolted on out there.
There you go. Alan said, how about I get on your show one day? It could be tonight. I'm actually in my observatory now.
Mm-hmm.
Alan, that we could do. If you want to come on, you will be our first impromptu guest if you want to be. I could give you the link to get you on. I don't know if it will crash the entire system. But we could definitely try it if you want to. I'm willing to try it and put 3 people on at the same time. Not a problem.
Well, this thing's supposed to cope with up to 10 or 12 or something.
Yeah, I think it's 10. I don't know, but it really matters about your bandwidth too. So it really has something to do with that. But Alan, let me know if you want to do that. Tarek and Jesse says hi. Tarek says,
"Oh, hi there."
Astrophotographers shouldn't talk about costs. We are all sharing the crime inside the rabbit's dark hole. Yeah.
Oh yeah, aren't we just? Aren't we just? Well,
Hyperion, very nice. Prism is actually not bad.
that's all going rather appallingly.
Dennis is doing darks. Prism will run the observatory as well.
Mhm.
Nothing but clouds. Total automation domination, Amy said. Have either of you looked or tried hosting imaging like iTelescope? Actually...
What does that do?
I have not done iTelescope, but what I have done, and if you take a look, if you really want to go through the dreadful viewing of one of my streaming sessions, I haven't done one in a while because of, number one, all the garbage that's going on. Number two is I've had crappy weather. But
That doesn't help.
I have like a 5 or 6 hour. I got a bunch of them of streaming sessions on there, starting from setup to polar alignment to the taking darks and flats at night. But if you want to take a look at it, you're fine. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I have not tried to host imaging like iTelescope. But if that's what you're talking about, then yes.
Okay.
If not, let me know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, well, we can give whatever we like. It's only between you and I. No one's listening. As you know, Dan, I had a twin rig set up, and then just for one reason or another, have been doing this other stuff. But this thing will be. We should do it. Actually, could do it through this. So instead of just sharing the screen, I'll share the whole desktop out to somebody to remote into my rig. And ideally,
you know what you do is you download. Actually, damn, I don't know if I could do it. But you download a desktop presenter for Wirecast. It's called.
Has it got right? Has Wirecast got one? I was going to say instead of using TeamViewer or something rather horrible like that. Right? Oh, brilliant! So we've got a solution.
Yes.
We have our own solution. This is all rather marvelous. Gotcha.
So download that.
All right.
Next time we can do that.
One of the things that, because of the time zone difference, is that I wanted to be in darkness here with the rig all running, and then hand it over to someone who's in daylight, and I will basically go to bed and have a rest.
I could do that.
Good. Sorted.
Was that a hint?
Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say too much about. Well, yeah, definitely. I shouldn't say too much about it because obviously having all the web stats and the analytics on the back end of the Facebook groups and the clubs and stuff that I run, there's an awful lot of activity. I get less activity at the weekends than I expected, and all the activity seems to come during during business hours.
Of course,
when people are like doing this. So I really didn't expect.
When I did my analytics on what was it? Google. It was Google Analytics, and I did a couple of boosts on my my YouTube videos.
Okay.
And I found that I did it only. I spent maybe like $20, whatever. And
And
the most traffic I got was between 2 and 4 p.m. on a Thursday. So,
in the United States.
Yeah,
That's what I see too, isn't it? It's really funny. Good.
But,
good for you.
Let's see. Eric Watson has a quad band.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, a quad band. Oh, okay. Quad band on his ever growing, on your ever growing collection of mighty telescopes. Including the Razor, Razor and a quad band. That's got to be mad.
Let's see, LMAO, Big Fat Fingers. Has anyone tried a tri or a quad on mono camera?
Right, I haven't, but I have heard of someone doing that. I can't remember who it is, but they're in the club and they have made some noises about it, and they say it's good. Now, I don't know. It's this is night 5 of being awake, so I am not going to start to think about the ramifications of holding that type of filter up to a mono sensor, or I'll go. But in actual fact, maybe out in our great gathering, there's a clever adult who could tell us what the effects of that would be.
Yeah, I mean,
Please.
Unfortunately, all my spots in my filter wheel are taken right now,
Right.
and I have I don't have a tri-band anymore. A friend of
Mm-hmm.
mine lent me her triad, and
Right. Okay.
and
Okay.
I never took it out of the box.
Sure. Oh no! It's really, that's terrible.
I know, yeah, I know. I
Terrible.
feel like such a. She's probably watching now, but you know, but I never took it out of the
Useless.
box. It was literally sitting, like right here where my motion sensor is.
Mhm.
It was sitting there for like 8 months, and I never used it because it was a 2-inch filter. I would have taken apart my whole rig to do it. And take off the filter wheel. So it was,
Okay.
you know, so it didn't fit my filter. If it was a 36 millimeter, I would have popped it in, but
Sure.
but it didn't.
Okay.
$3,000 is cheap compared to my mount. Alan, I don't know what you have, but you're scaring me. My wife would divorce me. I came in to join you guys. Sounds like fun. I'm ready to go. I have my Bluetooth. Okay, so Alan's ready to go. We can try. I'm on a 5 gigahertz external Wi-Fi. I have bandwidth for days. Yeah, but Alan, it's not about your bandwidth. Unfortunately, I wish it was. It's about my bandwidth getting your info and pushing it out. So we'll try it and we'll see what happens. What targets are you planning to do imaging by April?
Oh,
That's a good question.
well,
Go.
I tell you what, I've got this north view here, and previously, so it has certain advantages and certain disadvantages. One advantage is I can polar align on the traditional way, only using the assistants, so I can really see things rise where I couldn't really before at my previous locations. So I'm really enjoying this north stuff, and coming up is the Sadir region with Deneb, the swan, and that could last you a lifetime. So I've got this this particular situation where in the next couple of weeks all this lovely stuff's just going to be rising just where I want it, out the north end of my little shed observatory thing. And so really I'm sitting pretty. I've got months and months of stuff to enjoy, as long as the sky stays, obviously. So as long as I've got clear skies, I've got months and months of red blobs to enjoy. So I'm going to be doing Deneb and Sadir again.
Nice. That's a nice area. I like that area. It's got nice nebulosity and a lot of nice stuff going on in that.
Bit of everything and a lot of red.
Yeah, a lot of red. You gotta get the HA out. But for me, I started a project late towards the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I started with Markarian's chain.
Right. Oh, yeah. Right. Yes.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna try and finish that. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I want to get a couple hours on that still.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, we got a bunch of other stuff. Tarek, what do you think about a small Newtonian such as a 130 or a 150?
Right. Funnily enough, a 130. A friend of mine, Vicky Pink, has a 130, and we talk about and she's now got a small refractor, and so she's starting to enjoy the best of both worlds. But if you take away all of the niggles and fiddles that you'll hear Dan and I joke about, I mean, we're only teasing with something like a Newtonian, for a few $100s, couple of $100, a 130 gives you all the light gathering of a very expensive refractor. Yep. And if you get that thing tuned and tweaked up, it's not beyond the wit of man. I would find I'm a bit shaky at it, but Vicky's got on extremely well with collimating and adjusting her 130, and she's had extremely good results. Now I know a lot of that. I know perhaps 90% is in the toil and the commitment of the user of it, the engineering side of it. But it's when we talk about it, it is an awful lot of light gathering. So what does a newt suffer from? He's got a bit of coma. Yeah, he's got some. Yeah, he's got some. He's got. Yeah, he's got some of that going on. But it's not unappealing, and
No, it's not.
mhm. It's an awful lot of bang for the buck. I would think a 130 is probably the best value for money, bang for buck going.
It's one. What is it? F4, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's really
So
fast. Yeah,
it
it's
is.
sick
Actually,
fast.
a friend of mine who is an off the grid kind of guy, but
Right.
he is from Cyprus, and I've spoken
Oh
about
yeah,
it
yeah,
before.
yeah.
And that's all he images out of now is a 130 that he picked up in Europe.
Right.
They don't even sell them. Skywatch sells apparently a Newt only in Europe and doesn't sell it in the U.S.
Right. Oh,
It was
okay.
like a 130 F4. It was like $229.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can
yeah.
I tell
Peanuts.
you, the stuff that he does with this scope is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
A $200 scope.
Well, it's a simple design, isn't it? It's got a nice big. It's an empty tube with a big mirror at the end, so they can't really get that wrong, can they?
No,
And if you put a nice. Yeah, okay, I hear you. Well, here's the thing. I had never even heard of things like, you see cheap telescopes, you think they all look the same. I never knew about the abominations of things like Byrd-Jones telescopes.
Yeah.
Why would someone with knowledge of optics present that to a beginner? What were they thinking?
I don't know. Where is... maybe F5. I'm sorry, Tarek. F5. I'm a little tired. I apologize. Congratulations, you've received 100 messages. We got 100 messages already going across the chat. So thank you guys for coming on. Appreciate it. Jesse's looking forward to the Cygnus loop again. Hoping to make that my first real project. That's a great thing to do.
Good choice. Yeah. Do you know what? I've never done that. Never done the Cygnus loop. So yeah, we'll look forward to that, Jesse.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. She's been doing some great stuff. I remember. I want to say, Jesse, I think you started your astrophotography, I would say, about a year and a half ago. And correct me if I'm wrong, but she's been getting really, really good results.
Cool. Well done.
What else?
We need some sound effects. We need a big round of applause sound effect.
Yeah, I'm sure I could rig one up somewhere. There you go. So, yeah, we kind of went on a tangent.
You were. Right. That's a rig runner. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, I see it now. I see. Yeah. Gotcha.
So like, this is one of the wires that I made. I clipped it. This is from my old powered USB hub.
Right.
And so I got that.
Right.
So
I get this. Yeah. Sorry. Go on. Show us.
There you go.
Beg your pardon.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You got your in here. This is your in.
Yeah.
So you take your wire. Where is it? Hold on with. Yeah, DC in. So I got my DC in. Now I got power.
I hear you.
Okay. And then and the way that Alan had it was he had this on the side. He actually put some L brackets on his mount.
Right.
And he put it on the dovetail.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
And so it was on the side. So as the telescope moved up, down, right, left, this went with it. So the same thing like the Eagle. Anything that's on top, it's in the middle of the middle of the turning axis, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's what a rig
is. And that was the beginning of it. The thing I can see there is a pride. I sense pride from you with the making of your own custom wires, and I sense that from my chats with Amy too. And it's extremely sad of the pair of you to be up on a Saturday night measuring. I bet you were.
I made like
Bless
seven,
your heart.
I
Look
have
at
so
that.
many of these. I have so many things that I messed
Isn't
up.
that gorgeous?
But now I don't use them all because I have an Eagle and I had to get all different wires.
And it's all redundant. Bless the Eagle. Mind you, the shocking price of the Eagle cables.
Yeah.
That's quite If you need, so what are they, about $30 each for the Eagle cut? So if you need, for this,
Some of them are 50.
I think, oh really? Mm.
Yep, and you're not making those. You're not making those wires. You're not.
No,
making,
no.
With the twisty thing
No,
and the 4 pins and there's like a bump. I mean,
I don't even solder, Dan.
I
I twist. I'm a twister.
Alan said, "I'm very sure that Eagle stole my idea and made it very small and much more appealing."
They did actually say that in their patent that they stole it from you.
And it's red.
Yeah. It's a lot of it. Well, mine's still going strong and working. Mine's working beautifully. In fact, it's out there now. They work so well, you forget about them. It's been sat out there working all day.
Yep. And I gotta tell you, Alan, I stole your idea too, because this is where I got it from. I got it from you. So thank you for this. You did a great job. You showed me the light with this, Alan. So thank you for that, because that was the beginning of me actually getting the wires together, because they used to make fun of me. That's all I did. They made fun of me. I was King Wire. Dennis will tell you. Dennis is watching. He would be making fun before he retired and moved.
Were you a tangler? I must admit, I'm a bit of a tangler.
I'd be like this. I'd be sitting there with wires. See, look, even like right now, I got wires here. I got another wire here. I got more wires over here. Even not on I got wires all over the place. But God, I would have wires all over the place, and then sooner or later, you'd hear me say, "God damn it! What? Wire snag, my guiding just went kablooey." So.
Well, I may have to dash out and go and see what's wobbling my guiding, but I don't want to be so rude, so I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to pretend it isn't doing that, because that sort of mount shouldn't be doing that sort of pattern.
What are your numbers at?
They're no, I'm not telling you. Go away. Go away. We'll look at the result.
Okay,
it's within the race, within the scale.
The numbers don't matter as long as the star's around.
It's within the scale. What are my numbers?
Dennis just put his M31 on Backyard Astro Imaging.
Shocking.
So.
Oh, nice one. I shall check in. I must admit, I'm not. Now that's imaging, and I've got you lot there. I'm going to get some more screens actually at some point where I'm feeling really decadent and we're through this particular thing. But yeah.
What I'm going to try and do is, let's see if I could do this.
I don't want to push it and lose my connection. I'm enjoying it too much.
I'm going to go on Backyard Astro Imaging Club and see if I can get the picture up here. And here we go. And I don't see it yet.
No problemo. I see a nice star. So I'm on Moose Cepheid, which is the tail end, the bottom end of the elephant. So not the trunk end.
I see. People are putting a bunch of stuff up there. 2 hours, 4 hours. I still don't see Dennis's. I see somebody put a nice picture of Clavius on there with a Mac.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And somebody did some solar.
Oh, nice. Nice day for it.
Huh. Dennis, I don't see it, Dennis. I'm trying to get you up there. Maybe not. Okay. Try again, Dennis. Unless if I don't have... You put me in as an admin, right? Yeah, you did. Now, if it pops up, I'll put it up there, Dennis. So.
I can't see anything. All I can see is you, Daniel. I'm not even going to try... I'm not even going to try looking.
That's okay. Alan Mitchell's now a member. He just joined.
Oh, okay. Can you add him? Are you in there?
Yeah, I just did it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and Where else we got? Dennis said it disappeared. Rob Morgan commented.
Yeah, so forgive me. I'm not my usual chatty self. I really am away with the the fifth night. I've just little cat nap, so I'm seeing the scurrying creatures. I'm seeing stars in the daylight. I don't think I'll be staying up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's rude not to, isn't it? Because it's the UK. I mean, I know some of you. Amy, for instance, leaves her rig, goes and grabs some Z. So I don't know if you do. Do you leave your rig unattended, Dan?
No, never.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
It's a recipe for disaster. I guarantee you straight away it will start raining here.
Yeah, I don't, unfortunately, what I've done recently, or whatever, if it's a string of nights, it's going to be nice. I'll still take the optical tube off.
Yeah.
And I'll leave the mount where it is.
Yeah.
I'll cover the mount.
Mm-hmm. Fair play.
That's odd. Dennis tried it again. Let's see. What is going on today? Did you hear that Netflix crashed, apparently?
Oh, really? Because everybody is getting locked down and using it. Yeah. Well, it's a change. It's a changing. The landscape is changing. The way we shop, the way we do everything.
Let's see. I still don't see it, Dennis.
Well, Dennis,
I don't know.
What have you done?
You broke the internet, Dennis.
I don't know. Has he bust my club?
Alan sent his picture up, and that's up. I don't know what Dennis is doing.
Is it? Do you know what? I'm going to dare to take a peep, and I might run out and check that rig. But,
it looks like a My Tea.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and you know what? I'll sit there and
a mighty mount.
I'll put it on the screen for you. There you go.
Oh, I got it. Oh, I see. Oh, right. Start. I'll close that.
That's
we don't
Alan.
need that. We got Dan. Oh, isn't that pretty?
That's Alan's. That's nice. That's a beautiful thing. That must be a mess to set up every night, though. That doesn't look like a permanent setup place. So that's got to be kind of. Is that heavy, Alan? Because that looks heavy.
I got to say, I approve of that whiteboard as well. That's.
Oh yeah, right there.
I've got my own whiteboard. I'm a big fan.
Good stuff. That is awesome. Nice Stella. I knew he had a Stella view, but looks like maybe a 1600 maybe over there with EFW.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right there is the antennas for the stick.
Right, gotcha.
I think.
So how big is a stick PC?
Oh, it's the size of a smaller than a ballpoint pen.
No.
Well, in length.
Gotcha. Oh, I see. Size for candy bar.
Like half your cell phone.
Uh-huh.
That's what I would think.
Uh-huh.
Because I have one, and it's like half a cell phone.
Right, I've got a square one, so I've got a mini PC. But I like the idea of a stick. Now, I've blown my cash. I like the idea of a different one.
That's why I think Dennis just asked to join.
Can you add him for me?
Yeah, he just asked to join. Maybe that's why his picture's not showing up.
It's very sloppy. Who's on admin tonight?
I guess I am.
Thanks, man. I'm on fumes, but I'm staying up. I've actually got to brave the world tomorrow because I'm down to essentials now, and having done 7 days already, I'm starting to run out. Hopefully right at the lull of the madness.
Let's see. Adam said he leaves his up for up to 4 hours at a time. Yeah, 4 hours is about an imaging session, I would think, for me. 4 to 5. If I can stay up later, I'll stay up later.
Right.
Jesse said, I cannot leave my rig wholly unattended. My cable management is questionable. So, yeah, that's what we were just talking about. We were just talking about, oh my God, what happened? Something broke. It's showing as a visitor post. It's not terrible. Dennis Wild added a photo. There we go.
Thank you, Dennis. Gratefully received.
And we'll put that up on right now, and we'll show it to you. And where's my thing? I got to look around my camera. That's why I go back and forth like that. So, desktop, and there we go. That's Dennis's M31 shot. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Can't see it.
Yeah, my fault. I didn't hit go live. Sorry.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah, this, and Dennis, I know you're going to kill me for saying this, but this is coming from a guy, and he's going to remember this very well. He's going to laugh.
Mm-hmm.
This comes from a guy that told me about 15 years ago. I started doing astrophotography and stuff 15 years ago. He's a better astrophotographer than I am. He does this. So he sits there and goes, taking pictures, you're looking at a monitor, you're looking at a laptop. That's not real astronomy. That's not the way to do things. Now he's got an observatory in his backyard somewhere on the East Coast that has a roll-off roof and everything, whatever he's got going on, and he's doing work like this. So it just shows how things have changed. So
the slippery slope, yeah.
I love you, Dennis. I miss you, buddy. He's getting back into visual now. All right, so let's go back to nice job, Dennis, on that. That's a great shot. Clear all there. There we go, and we're back. So, what else we got tonight?
Well, I've got two satellites. Well, I'll tell you what, I've just had two satellites crash my picture, but I've yet to see Starlink.
You haven't seen Starlink, huh?
No.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have seen it already, and there's going to be plenty more to see eventually.
Yeah, sure. So far, I'm unaffected. So.
Well, I'm glad that I think I saw somewhere that Elon Musk decided to stop sending up all the light pollution and started to make surgical masks and ventilators. So.
Right.
So I did see that somewhere. So. Thank you for not, I'm not saying that worldwide internet wouldn't be a bad thing, but right now we have other needs. So thank you, Mr. Musk, for doing what we got to do to get through this crisis. And there are a lot of other companies out there that are doing the same. So I don't want to take anything.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I understand there's some 3D printing and small business and home users are busy printing away parts for ventilators. So. Really incredible. It does actually prove. I mean, this is wandering a little bit, but it does actually prove that if we slung out quite a lot of the leadership from the different governments around the world, we probably could have quite a jolly time of things.
I mean, I have a friend, and I don't want to mention names for possibly getting her in trouble. I'm not sure if this would get her in trouble or not from where in the world that she lives, but through the astronomy community, I have gotten to be friendly with people all over the world. And she actually just got in contact with me. I said, listen, do you have I'll take any masks that you have. I'll take whatever. And she's like, I found some. I'm sending them to you. So I don't know if they're surgical. I don't know if they're N95. Now we all know what N95. I didn't know what an N95
Right. Oh, I
was.
see. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know what
Things
an
you never
N95
knew.
Mask was until this happened.
Right.
Mask is a mask. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so she's actually mailing them to me from far
away.
And,
okay.
I don't know what she's sending, but thank her for that, and I'll get them to the people. I got people at the front lines that I know that are working in the hospitals that need them too. So
Sure.
so,
Oh, that's it. Yeah, yeah, incredible. Really heartening.
so that's really nice. I think he's just approved for 30,000 satellites. I think 30,000 satellites is probably enough.
Well, they're all supposed to scatter far, far away. This the effect we're seeing at the moment is a short-lived, temporary effect. I know it's going to get worse. I'm not being completely naive, but the Starlink effect should be short-lived and far, far away. But I know deep down they don't give a monkeys about our little hobby. You know, the march of commerce and money.
Yep.
Far more important than our little hobby. And even in our lifetimes, Dan, we've seen several times people suggest Coca-Cola, etc., adverts on the moon, laser adverts at night in the sky that have been proposed. And what could you do? What do you do?
Nothing. Just some things are out of our control, as we've been learning.
Yeah, definitely. Make the most of it.
Dome, by the way. Dennis
Who has a home dome?
Dennis does. That's what his
Oh.
buddy Dennis.
Right, okay.
He wants to know when I'm coming back down because I'm paying next time.
Nice.
And Mark said that's nice of her. I'll need it for the area that I'm living in. Yeah, well.
Right. I must admit, I'm in a rural area. I'm keeping well out of the way, so as long as I don't see anybody, I guess it can't get me. So I'm maskless.
Yeah, I hear you. But it's in some places densely populated as New York is.
Wow, just wow. How can anything be operating? I feel for these people.
Nothing's operating. Nothing's operating here. It's a big mess.
Yeah.
And you know what, I gotta tell you, and I know we're going way off the target here, and I know astrophotography is what we do, and all that kind of stuff. But Cuomo, and I'm not trying to bring politics into it, but Cuomo who is the governor of New York.
Okay.
Has done. I wish he'd be on TV like 3 times a day. Because he's just done such a great job of relaying the real deal, what's out there and what's going on and what he's doing to try and fix it, as opposed to some other things that we've been hearing on TV that aren't necessarily what's going on. So
I understand. Yeah. Well, you guys, I mean, we've got a huge problem around the world with fake news. Nobody knows. I don't know what's going on. I'd like to think a few years ago I would have been quite confident to say I think I know what's going on. I haven't got a clue. I only know what I'm being fed. I live in a very small bubble in the middle of a field, literally in the middle of a field in the rural arse end of Somerset in England. I don't know what's going on at all.
I mean, the one thing that they don't say, and the thing that freaks me out on the news is that everything is completely like, oh my God, it's bad. Everything is bad.
I see. Right. Okay.
They don't say how many people have already recovered from COVID.
Oh, okay. Right. Yes. There's these.
Just about how many people died.
Yeah, and the associated circumstances of the death. They had this terrible virus, and they died of something. There was a doctor on earlier saying, people don't die of prostate cancer. They have prostate cancer. They die of associated causes.
Correct.
So, again, this is far from the subject of acquisition software, but
yeah, we tend to digress on.
Oh, we do. But the reality of it is, now I haven't been personally affected, and I don't know anyone who has, and we all have the deepest sympathy, and I guess we've stressed that. But it is more dangerous to get for the people going to drive to the shops to get their TP, as I now understand it is called.
TP.
Yeah. The drive to and from the shops is far more dangerous than contracting and coping with COVID-19. So, and around the world, I've read this statistic a long time ago. I fear I wouldn't want to be eaten by a shark, but more people get killed each year on holiday being hit on the head by a coconut.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, shark attack is really rare. Being hit on the head by a coconut and killed on holiday is actually quite common. And people being in America, people being killed by toasters and things like that. And you don't ban. There hasn't been a blanket ban on toasters yet. Quite high statistics, quite dangerous actually. So I'm not belittling it, but I'm also being slightly realistic. I don't want to contract it, so I'm keeping away from everyone, and can, luckily, blessingly, can.
Yeah.
But certainly, yeah, getting it into perspective. If you had a cold or the flu and I hadn't seen my buddy, I'd give you a hug. Wouldn't think twice.
Nope. I know. Let's see. I'm gonna try and get that photo. We want to put that photo up, right?
What have you got?
No, your photo.
Ah, right, the quad band example.
So, did you want to talk about what I'm going to show before I show it?
Well, no, sling it up because probably we talked about this. In actual fact, when I started using this camera, I think your comment to me was something like bleh or meh or yuck. So one-shot color cameras versus mono cameras. Typically, one-shot color camera is going to be perhaps a little less saturated in the final image, and it's not going to be as sharp and all these fun things. However, one-shot color camera with these new tri-band, quad-band filters, goodness me, what a lot of fun. I was really not expecting the richness of color and the ease of processing open up a whole new world. So is there anyone out there, or we've had a couple of hands up, so anybody using quad band or tri-band type filters, and we want to add another proviso in there, anybody has tried using a quad band filter or tri-band filter on a mono camera, what's the effect and how are you getting on with them? Because I'm actually really pleased with them. And sorry to go on, as a little segue, we have another raffle going on, and the winner can choose. The last raffle was a tri-band filter, but this time we wanted to give you a lot more choice. So you can win a choice of a tri-band or a quad band, and you might prefer to have that in a DSLR fitting rather than the 2-inch. So we're giving you a choice this time. So if you do have one of these filters, can you let us know how you're getting on? And if you don't have one of these filters and you think you'd like one, give us $1, wait for the raffle, and you might win one.
There you go. So you got either a quad band,
yeah,
tri-band,
yeah,
or you had some other accessories too, or something, didn't you?
Oh right, yeah. Oh, in the raffle, yeah. So there's a tri-band and a quad band. So those are the ones I'm testing. The winner won't get the one with my grubby finger marks on. They're obviously brand new and sent from Altair. So what have we got there? So that's a tri-band. That you'd want that one for what are we saying? Bortle whatever to mid Bortle, and then this one from mid Bortle to pristine skies. So tri-band for a bit more light pollution, quad band for your clearer sky, and you can also choose to have it. So you choose from one of these. So you get a bit more choice in this. You don't get all of them. You choose which one fits your camera. But we've also got the filter slider choice, and we've also got the DSLR adapter. Where's it gone? There it is. One of those up for grabs. So you put your camera on that end, your DSLR on that end, and you have a magnificent time.
That's with everything, the dovetail and everything, or?
Yeah, that's all part of the kit. So you could choose that as your prize.
Nice.
You can choose the filter slider, which I haven't got one on the desk, or you can choose from one of these filters.
Nice. And only one prize.
For $1. For $1.
$1, one chance, one prize.
You got it. But if you want to have 3 chances, put $3 in. Simple as that.
No mug.
Runner-up gets a mug. Runner-up gets a mug, and it was Mark Ellis, wasn't it? It was Mark Ellis who I've got your messages. Mark Ellis has won the runners-up mug, so that should be arriving. So I don't know when it's arriving, but it's in the post. It's on its way.
Let's see. We got some more content. Let's see. Jesse's down by the beaches. We had a ton of people vacationing here this weekend. Definitely paying attention to what's going on in New York, DC, and Philly. Mark Ellis just says the news is just doing a bunch of fear mongering. I guess what they were talking about when we were talking about Corona. Alan disagrees with Mark. The media is reporting the news. People with IQs less than their waist size panic and blow the news way out of proportion. The terrible fact of the matter is there are a lot more dumb people out there than there are smart, rational people. You know, what do they say? This is one of my favorite sayings on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Common sense is not very common.
No, it isn't. No.
There are a couple other ones out there that I like, you know, but that's one of my favorites. Dennis Wild said you like a lot of saturation. You may want to talk about how much data is in, because even on that picture it does look like it's very saturated. The blues are and the reds are very punchy. But that's probably because of lack of data. You just wanted to bring it out, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think we've got about an hour and a bit in there, so not a lot. However, as another segue into facilities that you get in our wonderful club, if you have a look at the different links, you'll see the Club Cloud data links. All of that data is actually uploaded and ready for you to have a peruse and a look at. So you can have a look at raw files, single subs, stacks, stack them together, and please process them yourself. So yeah, that's deliberately been over boosted with all the levers. Shove it all up there. Yes. Not very subtle, is it?
No, you can definitely see it was blown out. But I mean, just the what you got out of that hour and a half. I love it.
Right, that's a 294 color camera, and it wouldn't have looked. You can compare because there's some RGB standard one-shot color frames up there in the Club Cloud. So again, the idea is that you be the judge. Don't let someone's flashy product picture, someone's carton picture, sway your choice over a filter or a camera or a telescope. You can look on the Club Cloud and go, I want to have a look at that camera, I want to have a look at that telescope, I want to have a look at that filter, and just pick the data that you fancy and have a look at it. But please do also stack it, because we've got a competition coming up with the Club Cloud data, but we'll talk about that a bit later.
And well, so Steve said the only experience I have is the Enhance from Optolog.
Okay, right, which is what started it all, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if it started it. I think there was something before that. I want to say that one of the main ones that came out first that really had the biggest, I guess, appeal to people, or the biggest advertising campaign at the very least, was, believe it or not, I think it was the Triad from Orion.
Right.
I don't think that was the first one out. As a matter of fact, I know it wasn't the first one that was out. But
right.
I think it was the one that actually promoted it the most, that got out there.
Right. That had started to split up some of these interesting bands and to present them to one-shot colours.
Yeah.
That was the Triad. Right, okay, cool.
Dennis wants to know, where do we find the raffle? Dennis, you know
in the club.
Yeah, you could go. Now that you're a member, you can go in there and see it. I think it's on one of the first couple posts. If not,
yes, the pin post at the top.
Oh, you pinned it at the top. Okay, so you go right there. I believe there's a picture of the filter boxes on there. So you could go there. Just go donate $1 or whatever to whatever PayPal address he has on there.
$1 for one chance, $10 for 10 chances. It's entirely up to you.
Jesse's been using the dual band and loves it.
Right.
Eric has the Altair quad band 2-inch. Used it once. It was really nice. I chose it since I'm in Bortle 5 Skies.
Good choice. Good
Uh,
choice, Eric.
Yep. Alan said, "Have a good rest of your stream, guys. I have to call it a night."
Night, Alan.
And
I want to too.
Dennis is talking about another saying that he likes: "Do what you feel and feel what you do." So that's a good saying too. Let's see, and the last one was Dennis got it. So Dennis is in. He got the link.
Are you in? Well done, Dennis. Thanks, man.
I'm just trying to get something. What happened? My screen just kind of messed up on me a little bit here.
Oh God.
Nope, I'm good.
We're not braving it too much, are we?
What now?
Good.
Let me see. So what was I looking for? I was looking for something. I forgot what I was looking for.
Well, my imaging's hanging in there. I'm on Musefi, the fat bottom cheeks of the Elephant Nebula. But it's all going rather, well, I wouldn't say brilliantly, but it's all going rather well at the moment. So I'm just, you know how it is. I can sit here. What have I got? 2:25 a.m. I can sit here until 4:30, the end of astronomical darkness. And yeah, there it is. Oh, cool. Well done, Dan.
So here it is, a triple choice spring raffle.
Yes.
$1 for everything. Not for everything, but $1 for every chance. And
yes,
that's the filter slider that Tim was talking about. So you just put the filter in there and you push that in there, and there you go. You could get any. What is that? A 2-inch?
That's a 2-inch. Yes, you can. There's a 1 1/4-inch option, and with that, if you choose the filter slider, you get a free extra filter drawer. So you get 2 filter drawers with that prize.
And no, you don't get that camera. You just get this red.
You
don't get the lens. Okay,
no.
So that's what you get. You get this red piece, the 2 adapters for the Canon.
Exactly. You get the foot. You get the adapter of your choice, be it Nikon or EOS.
Okay, that was going to be my question. Did I have a choice between which band?
Yeah, Nikon or EOS for the front end, and whatever Altair camera you've got for the backside there, be it the Hypercams or the GP cams or the Protex.
And then we got the quad band. And the tri-band clip-in. You doing that? Oh yeah, that's part of that. Okay. And the other tri-band 2-inch.
Yeah, exactly. Because in the first raffle, we were literally just raffling 1 2-inch screw-in filter with no choice, and it didn't have as broad appeal. And I talked to our affiliation partner, and I said, "Look, can we have a choice, please?" And they said, "Yes, of course you can, Tim." So I thought I'd try give us a choice. So you don't win the whole bundle, of course. You just win one of those things, but you get to choose the thing that's appropriate to you. And yeah, what we really need to see though is a lot more people putting in $1.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So once we get that done,
and then we can have bigger and better prizes.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. We don't take the cash that's left over and go buy dinner. We actually put it towards the next raffle.
Absolutely, yeah. All goes into the next raffle, and a very small proportion of that gets siphoned into the little side project that we have, Scopes for Schools, and we're building up a very slowly but surely, building up a small cash pot there, and we're on our way to our first $100 there actually. So it's getting there slowly. When we've got enough, we can do something. But these things take time to build. But we want you to win a nice prize. And although we actually haven't heard much from the Red Cat raffle, that completed at Christmas, and the Red Cat now lives in Miami.
Yeah. Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
That was a $20 raffle, wasn't it? Was it?
That was a $10 a ticket raffle. But what we're looking to do, because we've got a big group and people are enjoying the raffles a lot more, the more people who put $1 in, basically, if everybody put $1 in, we can have an even bigger prize, and we'll start to look at raffling some, because Dan and I like little APO refractors. At some point, we'll be raffling off a nice little APO refractor. but
Yeah,
we need you guys. We need your buy-in, basically. We need you $1.
Let's see. Dennis is throwing out all these words now. Ride the road and pay the toll. It's just, I don't know. I just posted.
That's very American.
I just posted what little I was able to get of the flame. Only 10 H alpha images. We'll have to wait till next season to get more data. What mount will work with a ZWO camera? I'm kind of confused by the question.
Okay.
Mark, can you explain what you mean by what mount will work? Oh, do you mean what? Actually, I don't know what you mean. Explain what you mean, and we'll answer you. Hopefully, we could answer you there.
We may digress with the answer, of course. We can't promise to stay on track.
The raffle mount. I think you.
Right. That's okay.
The 1 1/4 inch nose piece on the other side, right? So.
Right. No, they're different sizes on the other side. So they're strictly designed for Altair cameras. They may fit other brands. So they're designed for Altair, but they may fit other leading brands of red camera too. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Okay, so
not just one. They may fit other. I mean, again, it's an adapter, so there's you can fit. I have fitted other leading brands of camera to these adapters.
Gotcha. Hope that answers. Sorry, I thought you meant. I thought he meant like a telescope.
Yeah. No, I'm with him. No.
Gotcha.
I'm with him. Got you. Yes.
Sorry, Mark. I misinterpreted the question. So, let's see. So, all right. That's all the comments we have. We're all caught up with comments.
Oh well, that's fantastic. Well done, everybody. I'm having a wonderful time in my delirium of sleep deprivation here.
How's your imaging going?
Well, it's chugging along. I will after we've wrapped. I'll go out and have a peep and see what cable has.
Excuse me.
Don't set me off.
Sorry.
But no, it's been very productive, and so please do have a look on the Club Cloud. We've got M101, we've got M51, we've got the Iris Nebula, that's come out quite nicely, and then with the quad band we've got a little bit of the Horsehead and Flame, which is low from my location, but there you go, have a look. Oversaturated and blown to smithereens, as is my style. But please do have a subtle try of that. There's more data just been added, but this trunk has got 100 and something 5-minute subs of data on there. I think that's about 8 or 9 hours worth building up.
Nice.
And what else have we got? The Flaming Star. The Flaming Star. Not everybody likes it. I was talking to someone earlier, didn't like the Flaming Star. Didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. So what I've tried to do is go for the blue bit. There's a blue bit in it, isn't there? There's a blue streak. Yeah. So hopefully, haven't even looked at this particular part. Hopefully there's some data, but this is all available. Go, knock your pipes out. It's all yours.
I started the Flaming Star. I got about 3 hours in, but it's been cloudy. I don't think. I mean, looking at the weather in New York, since I start vacation very soon. Not that I'm going anywhere because we can't.
It's a staycation.
Believe it or not, it looked good tonight. I didn't even know it. That's how.
Really? Are you missing one?
I'm missing one. Tomorrow, no good.
Damage.
Maybe Friday. Friday might be good.
Okay.
And then nothing until Monday the 30th. So Monday looks good. So Friday, Monday. So we'll see. Friday.
Well, I really am. I'm making hay while the stars shine. In fact.
Let's see. We got some more. Steve Flanagan, great show, guys. That's it for me. Keep them coming. I now look forward to Wednesdays. Thank you, Steve.
uh,
That's nice.
cheers,
The
Steve.
Nightcrawler was supposed to be delivered today. It's delayed somewhere between here and Moonlight. Uh,
Ah,
well, Moonlight's only in New York, so um, it should
Big
be.
Ron.
It'll be here. You know what's going on with all the.
He
Everything's
won't let you
delayed.
down.
Everything's delayed.
Yeah,
If he sent it, he sent it. It'll get
yeah, yeah.
there.
Yeah, big Ron Moonlight. He's the Chuck Norris of astronomy. That
Yeah.
virus won't get here. He'll kick its ass.
That guy will make you an adapter for anything. I tell you, he does some great work. But my friend Harley, haha, I'm just learning a bit. Sorry to bore you guys. You're not boring us, Harley. Don't worry about it. And Dan, are you looking at the Clear Outside app? Yes, I'm looking at the Clear Outside app.
Oh yes, yes.
There are a couple
Designed in
of apps.
designed in Somerset. Oh no, Exeter. Designed in Devon. Those guys are just up about 30 miles up the road from where I am.
First Light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't using it all the time. I was using something else called
Seaweed.
I don't know what the hell it was.
Seaweed and a pine cone.
That might have been it. But it just things were getting wrong again, and I was using you know what I was using. The Weather Channel actually had an app. It was a smart forecast. It was called, and
Right.
you were able to actually just put certain criteria into it, and it would tell you if it was good. So you put cloud cover, rain, wind.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
it.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
you would do is put those things in there, and I labeled it astronomy. So,
Yeah.
And that worked very well until IBM bought them, and then it was just a big mess. So, Eric Watson, how much time do you usually spend on an imaging session?
Oh, what on a target or on a
that's my
session?
question. Yeah. There are a couple of things there. So, an imaging session, are we talking night to night? Because I'm sure that Tim and my answer, night to night, is dark to whenever we get tired.
Dark till daylight. Dark till daylight for me. If I'm up and I haven't got a commitment the next day, then I'm up.
Yeah, me too.
It's the clouds or daylight will be the only stopping, or technical malfunction. And I've been repairing. I had a piece of my shed roof fall off earlier, and narrowly missed I missed the rig, but it was
good.
Yeah, thank the Lord. Thank Fluff for that. It wasn't a great start tonight, but yeah, barring technical hitch or ambient weather conditions, I'll be up till it's about 4:30 that the subs start to show morning sun coming up already, which is a bit early. But I am told by the maker of the quad band that I should have carried on and persisted, because it's apparently it cuts through that morning bit. You can continue. His statement was along the lines of, you can continue to image past astronomical doodah. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
And he's not prone to telling large porcupines, Cockney rhyming slang for lies, right? So he's not prone to telling porkies, and he designs an extremely good product. So I might leave it going a little bit longer this morning. I might leave it going until 5 a.m. But it's not winter anymore. The long nights have gone. The season's over, Daniel.
It's gonna be starting at 10 o'clock.
I can't live with that. That's horrible, isn't it? Waiting for darkness.
I gotta move to Arizona. I can't do it anymore.
What about rattlesnakes though?
Eric was talking about on a certain target, so I guess
on a certain target.
Down to two different things, because there is RGB, there is one-shot color.
We've got a can of worms.
So Eric, are you doing one-shot color? Are you doing RGB separate? Are you doing LRGB? Are you doing a combination of narrowband and RGB? What are you how are you imaging, and then we can kind of give you, again, the bottom line is how much time you put on a certain target to me is what's good to you, because it's like a drug. You always want more data. You want more data. You want more data. You don't know. Maybe you can get a little bit more nebulosity. We speak about this a lot. That when do you say enough is enough? And maybe you want to hit on that because
it's these are now with the way we stack and can hold data forever, but particularly the way we can additive stack disparate data from different scopes, different cams, different sessions, even different people. That there is no end to this now. This is until your demise. You will be adding potentially to data, because every season you're from now on, or for many people it's already happened. You will be adding to your Orion. Isn't one go at Orion each season. This is an additive. Your 10, 20 hours from this year will go on to next year and next year, so that at some point in your dotage, your lovely old ages, you'll have a 1,000-hour stack of a target. You're going to have some libraries that are going to require some incredible computing power. Things are changing, things are developing. There is a law of diminishing returns. So when you said it's like drug addicts, it's a law of diminishing return. The first hour is the golden hour. So that's the one where you get your big satisfaction and your instant gratification. Then it's something like another 3 hours to make a dent on the signal to noise ratio. Now, forgive me because I don't know precisely how this particular curve then goes, but there's no point after 3 hours adding another hour. You'll only see a significant difference when you get to the 9-10 hour. There is a particular ratio for this, but there is no point adding another hour at 3 hours. You've got to triple that to see the next significant reduction in signal to noise. So I get a feeling myself that aiming for 10 hours, regardless of what you're doing, you want 10 hours of data to get maybe 9 hours of good signal out of it, and then you're hitting some numbers. But when I change to mono, obviously LRGB, 4 filters to get a picture, that's 4 hours. That's a whole night's work just to get a picture. And how disheartening if it doesn't it always your session cut off, leaving you short on one filter always with an unbalanced, a now color unbalanced picture. So 4 hours minimum for mono, isn't it? But I think 10 hours for us players in this game, 10 hours minimum, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, 10's a good number. Depending on what kind of because with your HA, if you're doing narrowband HA03S2, if you're doing that, you're going to need significantly more time.
Oh, isn't it horrible using those other everybody loves HA, don't they? For obvious reasons, because the sky is light.
HA is the easiest at all.
Yeah.
O3S2, HA is like, for lack of a better terms, and don't yell at me because I know what I'm going to say is wrong. HA is kind of like your luminance, because you're getting a lot of it, depending on what you're shooting at.
Yeah.
If it's got, depending on what you're shooting at, it's really bright. It lets a nice little swath of light.
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
So when you get down to the much narrower at, what is it?
And rarer gases.
And, S2 and O3. Now, you need about 20 minutes just to see something, as opposed to, HA, you only need 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Eric is still using a one-shot color. He's using a 294.
Right, I'm using a 294. No problems there. That's nice.
He did just get a 1600 Pro and just starting with mono and multiple filters. Right,
I thought that's how I remember it. I'm struggling to keep up with this 2,500 people's equipment, but yes, Eric's collections does rather stick in your mind.
Yes, it does. It does. I think.
So So I felt I knew he'd got that you had got, Eric, 1600 mono. So I don't know how that works out on the Razor, but of course you can stick one filter at a time. You don't need necessarily a wheel, do you? But that also could be quite
It helps.
interesting. Well, you can. Most of these things, I know ZWO and I know Altair too. You can stick a 2-inch filter in the nose, can't you? Of them, they have a recessed thread.
Yep,
Which a lot of people don't use, and that what a fantastic place. If especially again with the quads and tri-bands, stick one of these filters in the nose piece. You don't need a filter slider, you don't need a wheel, you don't need any other accessory. It's already got a recess for it. I think these 100, 200 buck filters are a breath of fresh air for one shot color people.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Again, I have not shot one shot color for years. I have not done. I've been doing CCD for long time, and I won't go back. You know what I mean? I won't go to a DSLR. I won't go back. It's just the results that I get and the sensitivity that I get out of a CCD chip.
I gotta say, the sight of a mono camera and an HA filter on an interesting target is absolutely exquisite. There is nothing like it, and certainly this didn't produce in the subs that sort of wow factor. However, in the stack afterwards, I was pleasantly surprised with the richness of the signal. So I'm not saying that a one-shot color and a tri-band is as good as where we could take it on, but it certainly is a very interesting development. That's politically correct. It's a very interesting development.
Yeah, so if you want to take a look at this real quick, I mean, it's not. It was a real quick and dirty process.
Well, I tell you what, I'm hoping you're going to show us your magnificent heart at some point.
No, not yet. Still working on it.
Ah.
And again, it's a little mottled. There's a little noise going on, but that's only 2 hours worth of data.
Right.
In a CCD
Is it coming?
camera.
You're going to click. You clicking it? You showing us something?
Oh, it's not.
Press go live. No, it hasn't. It hasn't popped up.
There you go.
Do you have a button? Oh, it's got an effect.
Oh no, that's the. Yeah, give me 1 second. Where is it? And there we go. Can you see it now?
I can. Here it comes. Here it comes. Where's it? No, it's gone. There it is. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Oh, hello.
And that's 2 hours worth of data with the CCD camera.
Beautiful.
Just HA. Just HA. Now again, it's a little mottled and stuff. I did it really quickly. I know I need more data here, but I mean, overall, I was pretty happy with it for what it is.
And you framed it nicely as well. They look at that. You've got it all nicely horizontal there
I
on
wanted that tilt
ridge.
like that. I thought that was nice. That little tilt.
Yeah.
But
oh, we're looking forward to that.
So that unfortunately has got to wait to finish next year. But
well, right, which is exactly the point we were making earlier about how long's a session. The rest of your life, effectively, you can be additively stacking now forever and collaborating or mixing between your different scopes. So which I'm sure Eric and the other collectors and shall I say. Oh, it's not really hoarding, is it? It's I was hoarding actually. I was hoarding telescopes, but I've sold a couple, and I feel suddenly freer. My desk is freer and tidier. I'm able to move around my office more.
Yeah.
But it did hurt. But it did hurt.
Yeah. So Dennis was talking about the quantum efficiency of my chip. He said it's only got a quantum efficiency of 50 to 55%. I'm aware of that, Dennis. If Unfortunately, the KF 8300 is still. I like the chip. It's a nice big chip. And
It's a
again,
benchmark chip.
what's that?
It's a benchmark chip. It sets a
Yeah.
standard
Yep.
for others to follow.
Yep.
It will always be. It will be relevant for a very long time.
Somebody told me who is that? I always wanted an S-Big camera for whatever reason. Some people want Jaguar, some people want Mercedes, some people want ATIC, some people want S-Big, some people want whatever. I always wanted an S-Big. Don't know why. Maybe because I wanted something I read when I was 16. And
Clever marketing people.
yeah, so I bought it. I wanted an S-Big. A guy's like, I was like, yeah, talking to somebody. I forget who it was, but I was like, they got an S-Big. So I was like, yeah, I got an S-Big. He's like, I said, yeah, but it's the entry level S-Big. The one that I have is the cheapest S-Big you can get. It's
Right.
STF 8300. That's what it is. $2,300, whatever it was. So
Yeah.
and he goes, yeah, that's like saying that you bought a Porsche, but you bought the cheapest Porsche on the lot. so I was like, all right, well, now you made me feel better. Yeah, there is a lot of better quantum efficiency out there that I'm aware of. But right now, I'm not going to spend another $2,000 on another camera.
No need whatsoever. They're all good when they're working in harmony. They're all good, and I've said to people, when you reach your sort of plateau, you get your hours under your belt and you learn about imaging. It then becomes very much conditions based because.
Yep.
We're at the mercy of the weather, especially in places like Long Island and Somerset. We're quite near the ocean. We are at the mercy of some really quite erratic weather systems.
Yep.
I don't know from night to night whether it's especially things like guiding. I could be fiddling with numbers. It could be the seeing changing. There are so many variables that it's likely that if you stuck with that chip for 10 years, your skills by the end of those 10 years will be blowing away the latest CMOS camera, simply because you've got your head round all of the nuances of managing the data that comes out of it. The latest camera that's come out is still going to have his nuances to get used to. I'm sure nothing's automatic yet, is it? Is there a camera made where you just click it? Have we got the Polaroid camera of Astro yet?
Oh, no, not yet. Not yet.
No.
Oh, I guess the closest you can think of is live stacking, but I mean, even that's not where it's going to be in 10 years from now. But,
No.
Let's see. Eric was saying he's trying the 1600 with my Zenith Star 126. Did 2 targets last night with the 294. Yeah. Did the Leo triplet and the Needle Galaxy, 3 hours each. Starting an integration right now, so he's running he used AstroPixel processor.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look forward to seeing those. Mr. Watson?
Dennis has a Sony 694 chip. 77 quantum efficiency makes a big difference.
Okay.
Eric,
what camera is that in? What camera would that be in? What would I know that as?
An ATIC, I think, if I remember right.
An ATIC, right, okay.
ATIC, whatever. I don't even know how you pronounce it anymore. Tomato.
Yeah, sure.
Eric says he's a bit of a hoarder at the moment. I have so many scopes, never have enough dark, clear skies. And Dennis just posted his Horsehead Nebula, which I just looked at. And it looks
cheers, Dennis.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, he's got an ATIC 1 6.0. That's what he has.
ATIC 1, right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful camera.
Mature choice.
Yep. Maybe, after all this is said and done and we all have some money to spend and the markets come back, maybe I'll decide to get a better camera. But for now,
I've got to say, but middle of the road budget for me is always going to be as good, but exceed my skills. I'm a bit like fast cars and motorbikes. I'd like them, but my skills are never going to, and it's never going to push the technology.
Yeah, exactly. Rob Morgan has a 294 and a QHY 16200A. The Qui.
Oh, Quai. The Qui.
The Qui.
I'm not alone. Someone told me, or I dreamt it. Must have dreamt I was at a show and someone called it Quine.
Oh God. You didn't go to any show recently. Dennis wants an STXL 6303 to chase asteroids.
Right.
Yeah, that's something
Like you
that
do.
he's always been interested in. That Dennis, he's been an asteroid chaser for a while, and
Yeah.
comet
Fascinating.
chaser. Yeah,
Fascinating
he
stuff.
does that kind of stuff. You know what I always wanted to get into was, and I just don't have the patience to do it. Lunar grazing occultations,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
where you're able to kind of watch a star blink in and out behind the mountains of the crest, and you can actually
Yes.
figure out how tall each mountain is
Really.
based on how.
That's
Yeah, so it's kind of
that's
wild.
very nice.
Yeah.
That right. There's a name for the what is the name? A friend of mine told me this a few years ago, and it slipped out of my tiny little peanut. There's a name for when you can see the little the mountains on the side of the limb.
What are you talking about when the moon turns so you can see different mountains? Or are you talking about?
No. When you on the limb of the moon, so you're saying about the star occultations between the mountains. There's a name for that.
I thought it was
Not for the
I thought it was
not for the occultation. The site of the mountains.
Oh,
I'm not explaining it very well. A bit like the Terminator is the name for the shadow. There is a name for the site of the whatever it is on the edge. I'll have to look it up now. I'll look it up. In actual fact, I'll do better than that. I'll ask him, but he'll be asleep at 3 a.m.
I'll call it the side. How about that?
Yeah, the side. The bumps on the side. There's a name for the bumps on the side.
Well,
there is,
because IOTA, which is the occultation, international occultation something, and I was getting into it with a bunch of different types of cameras, and Dennis actually just put it up there, and I think I said it before, was it's a grazing occultation, where you can see where it goes, the light of the star goes in between the mountain peaks.
Fantastic. Fabulous.
And there's actually a cool. Somebody put in a YouTube picture of it, or somebody was videotaping it. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
What is
I'm up for a link for that.
Let's see if I could get it real quick.
I mean, that is heavily nerdy. That's quite interesting. I think that's more interesting to me than perhaps doing the spectrography stuff.
Yeah.
That could get a little stale for me, but I don't know. Not necessarily. I suppose it depends how much you know about the underlying subject.
Yeah, I was never a fan of, reading spectral lines and stuff like that.
Sure.
But, there are a lot of people that do it. Let's see.
Yeah, there are a hell of a lot of people that do it. I suppose, as much as anything, I'd like to be taught these things. Have someone hold my hand and show me. That would probably help.
There was a really good video. Is this it? I think this was it. Let me see if this was it or not.
Well, my kit is playing ball. It hasn't frozen. It's still on target. The guiding is 0.7 now, I'll tell you. It's
0.7's good. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'll have that. Yeah, well, it's settled to a figure I can reveal. It wasn't that earlier. Again, it's finding the nuances. I don't know how this thing likes to be balanced or where it wants to be exactly, and what its good days and bad days are yet. It's early days in the relationship where we're young and learning about each other. But so far, so good. it's taken this payload. I mean, the whole point of it wasn't because it's more accurate than any other particular mount. It's simply for payload, so I can rack more and more Altair equipment on it and share it out and stream it to you guys. Let you guys all play with it. What's it doing? Yeah, it's behaving good.
See, that's not.
You've gone very quiet on me, Dan.
I'm sorry. I'm looking for this one video. And I can't really find the one that I wanted to see.
Don't sweat it.
And it was a really good. It was a really good video.
Okay.
And is this it? No, it's not it. This is. Oh, yeah, this is it.
Oh, is it? Oh, good, good, good. I'm not teasing much.
All right, so I'll pause it here, and then you can see it on.
Are you going to share it?
I will share it, and so this is what a grazing occultation looks like.
I'm there. I wish I had an alcoholic drink now to enjoy this moment. But
all right, can you see it?
I can see it.
All right, so now watch. So this is Aldebaran here.
Gotcha.
Okay, now there are obviously mountains here that you can see, but
yeah, and there's a name for that.
Press play.
Yeah.
And there it goes.
It's gone.
And now you would count the seconds until it pops back up again.
Yeah.
And it'll pop back up again soon, I think. You know, you just got to kind of wait for it.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully it comes back.
Yeah.
I know it does eventually.
Yeah. Well, this is building tension.
There it goes. So there it goes.
Way.
So you see where it is. And there it goes again. There it goes again. See how it kind of flashes in and out? So it's going in and out behind the mountains.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to do this.
Oh,
this is train spotting on a new level.
You know, so it's kind of cool how that kind of works out on on what, you know. I think that was the last one, but there goes another one.
Oh no, it's good. Oh, it's good. Yeah.
And then it'll come back again. Here you just saw for a second, but this guy, there are guys out there in IOTA that that sit there and do this and measure how long it takes. That's why you got a time code on there.
Yeah.
So you can see how big how wide the mountains are, at what range, and all that kind of stuff. So you got to know. See, look, here's a light curve. This is the light curve that he had. So the star was there, then all of a sudden it was gone, and it was gone for that long.
I can see myself. I don't get invited to parties, but if I did, I would take print-offs like that with me and show people.
So that's kind of cool thing. I started to get into it, and I was
that's not sad at all. That's quite interesting.
I mean, there are guys that set up 4 or 5 different telescope setups to do one of these, just to have different spaces around a little bit, because I think every 3 feet makes a difference. You know, so it's like, you know, but it's really amazing stuff that the work that does. I really love that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that.
Let's see. How about supernova and comet hunting?
Right. Yes, supernova definitely. Tell us where the next one's going to be. Comet hunting's slightly easier.
Beetlejuice. No. so
wasn't that boring?
Yeah,
no, it wasn't actually. It was very exciting. What did we put it down to in the end with Betelgeuse? What did we put it down to? Was it gas or something?
Yeah, I think it was like a dust cloud or something. You know.
Do we think that it just moved behind it, or do we think that it was puffed a layer?
Who knows? So somebody, So it was Puff the Magic Dragon. That's what it was. So, Dennis Wilde is halfway through his 90-second darks.
Puff the Magic Dragon was all right, but HR Puff and stuff I found disconcerting, to say the least.
It's very, very strange.
Very strange.
Very strange. Rob wants to know what driver you're using on the EQ8R.
For to manage it and manipulate it, ASCOM driver from PhD. I connect via carte de seal, and it would appear to be using the standard ASCOM HEQ5 and 6 type doodah, because that's all I've clicked on it. However, I did have to tell something, carte de seal, no, sorry, ASCOM, that it is an EQ8 because it's got different gear sizes and stuff. So it's now a custom something or other, but it uses the HEQ5 and 6 standard doodah, and then all I've done is told it it's got bigger cogs, EQ8 gearing.
That sounded so horrible with your accent. That sounded. People are laughing at you right now.
Oh, great.
Sorry. It has bigger what?
Bigger cogs.
Oh, cogs. Okay.
Bigger gears.
But you're red. You're getting red in the face. I got him blushing. He's blushing, man. Look at that. Mark's laughing at
it's
you.
It's a BBC. It's a big black cog.
There you go. So
can we say that?
We can say that. Can we say
that?
Yeah.
It's a big black cog.
I'm gonna go back to the 50s with my little Superman Jerry curl here. Yeah. But I got my squiggy. It's my squiggy. So, EQ. Okay,
I'm obviously slightly challenged there.
That was actually my question. I was going to ask you. You don't use EQ mod, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, you do use EQ mod.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's your answer, Tim. So he uses the EQ mod driver.
Standards, the same cable that I used for my AZ EQ6. It's the same cable, it's the same driver. There's nothing snazzy about it, but I didn't notice you have to go in and tell ASCOM control panel that you are using an EQ8. There is some little setting somewhere, and then everything just clicked and worked.
So apparently there's something called Green Swamp. I don't know if you've heard of that. Because I know I have not heard of this, and this is something.
What does that do?
This is something that I want to say. I want to get. I think it was Mark. No, it was Rob Morgan. I'm sorry, Rob Morgan actually put it up there as a alternative to EQ mod for synth mounts.
Ah, right. Yeah, very interesting. I'd be fascinated to learn more about that.
It's mostly open source. PhD 2. Let's see, PEC support. It's on all Windows. Gamepad support. It looks like it's got auto home. It looks like it looks nicer than.
Well, that's very pretty, isn't it? Wow.
Are you looking at it?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at what you're looking at.
Oh, I didn't know you were looking at. Thank God I wasn't looking at anything strange.
Were you sharing your desktop without? Oh, yeah, my God!
I did not know. Okay, so since we are doing that, there we go. So,
yeah.
Let's see if I can get a bigger picture.
Right, so that's what we were looking at, Dan. Yeah, praise the Lord.
And it does give you a bigger picture. It's just this little dinky picture.
That's rather a nice representation of the scope in its little home, though, isn't it?
Yeah. You see that, the little like map.
I like that.
Let's see. Oh my God, really?
I can't read that. What does it say?
It's saying that it could be a virus or whatever.
Oh dear.
And we'll just. Oh, I don't have ASCOM on this computer. I'm not doing this. All right, so I was going to see if I can load it up, but it looks like just like a. It looks really like a more easily it looks like better what you call it, better user interface than EQ
Yeah, it's a
mod.
better GUI, isn't it? It's a more advanced, up to date, user friendly
I'd be
GUI.
willing to try this. I'd be willing to try
I'd
this
be willing to
definitely.
try it too.
You know, I've been
I've written
using
that
EQ
down.
mod for well, I've had my Atlas for 7 or 8 years now. So
Mm. Long may it last.
yeah, so we'll just have to see. Now I got my. You're not looking at my strange computer screen anymore. If I but
Something else we want. Something else I'd like to do for next time, Dan, is to compare your wonderful mini scope, which is using a. Is it a Sigma? No, is it a? What lens have you got on that?
the
Correctly,
Canon
is it?
200L.
It's a Canon, isn't it? Yeah, it's not a
Yeah,
Sigma. It's the Canon, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a
yeah, yeah.
Canon. Yeah,
Right, and is that a prime lens? Is that fixed at 200?
yeah, it's fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. I'm going to look up I don't know off the top of my head, the FL of my little 60 doublet, and I'd like to see if we can do a comparison between your lovely 200 and my budget 60 at some point. So we'll pick a target and see if we can crash some data out and then compare the differences, because I think yours is going to be better, but I think this little doublet's going to give it not a run for its money, but it's not going to make a fool of itself, and
Yeah, no,
it'd be
absolutely.
interesting to compare.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do that. No problem.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'll message you in the week or two, and we'll see if we can find a target. Are you imaging anything? Are you on anything with your mini scope at the moment?
What did I do? The only thing I did just as a first light kind of thing was M42, and that I did. I showed
Oh
you
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yes, you showed us, didn't you? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
looks good. Looks good.
after doing some real kind of processing with it,
Mhm.
I found it's got a lot of gradients. I need a
Right,
lot more data.
right. Okay.
I was doing it in my front yard right underneath street light. So I mean,
Uh,
I guess you got to expect that. But I
right.
guess I got a little bit of spoiled with the narrowband for my backyard. Then I tried to do one shot color, and I was like, oh, everything's gray. Why is everything gray? But I could say what Dennis said, but I don't want to say what Dennis said. He said something about my screen, what I shouldn't have on right now. And click screenshots. Ron, I did click the screenshots up at top for the live stream. It's just a little bit on the small side, so I'm gonna give it a shot though. I'm gonna give that a shot. See what that greenswamp.org. That's what that is. That if you go to that, Tim, and for that EQ mod.
Green Swamp. Yeah. I'll do that.
But it is 11:12. You want to wrap this
Sorry.
up?
Yeah. I guess so. I better hit the set. And all that time rabbiting to you lot. Yes. Let's hope this all works out. Well, you'll see. Have a look on the Club Cloud at the mass of data that's building up there, and let me know what you guys think. But we've got I'll touch on this later on in the club, but we do have our first competition coming up. So this is one where it's not a raffle. You don't have to put any money in. What you do have to do is use the club data, and so we've all got a level playing field. I'm always wary of competitions because I don't like to have one winner and make 499 people sad. I want you all as my friends. But we will have competitions because that's healthy and fun. And for this particular competition, our affiliation partner has given us $100 value voucher to spend in their store. on selected products. But as far as I know, that $100 value voucher is to spend on anything throughout the store. So keep your eyes out for that. So there's the raffle. If you want to throw us $1, and we really do want to catch those dollars for you and build bigger prizes, and that's allowed us to run this straight competition. So look out for the competition. Free to enter. Use the club data and win yourself $100 to spend in store.
There you go.
That's me done. That's me done, man.
All right, so I guess that's it for tonight, guys. I know we were back and forth on a whole bunch of different topics, but get ready for, I guess, Neef the virtual experience.
Yeah.
Apparently, you'll be seeing me personally quite a bit. If you log on to Neef, I'm actually doing all the videos for Camera Concepts promotions. So you're gonna see me. You'll see my dog. You'll see you'll see a couple other things. Me making an idiot of myself. Who knows? But so I'll be doing a whole bunch of that. But that's gonna be on the 4th of April. So
soon, right? Coming soon.
Yep. So hopefully that's it. So I'm exhausted, guys. So I'm sorry. I'm just so out of it. So have a good night, guys. Stay safe.
Likewise.
Stay healthy. Be careful, and just wash your hands and don't touch your face and all that. But, yeah, I know I've been doing this all night, so I mean, at least I'm in a controlled atmosphere here, so I guess I could do that. But,
yeah.
But all right, so good night, guys. Everybody, thank you for coming down. Thank you for watching. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And maybe if you're up to it, Mr. Tim, since I'm on vacation for the next 2 weeks,
I'm up for it. I'm game for anything. What are we doing?
We'll have like an impromptu show or two that is not at 2:00 in the morning UK time.
Oh, suits me. Suits me.
So that's something we'll talk about over the next couple of days, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah. We get a guest on too. We need a guest.
Maybe we could get. I know what's his name. Alan said he'd be happy to come on, and maybe we could get Amy to come on, say hi, whatever. We should definitely try and do it with 3 people and see.
We've done enough for her. I feel. Don't you?
We could always do more.
There's others. There's other people out there.
There's a lot of people out there, but other people that there aren't a lot of people like that put themselves out there.
Amy's great fun. She's one of the best. She's one of the gems. She's one of the best we've got in our broad fold at the moment. We're very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky to have Amy and the effort that she puts into those videos. And she's been producing some amazing videos. We all have a duty of care to click on those videos and boost her up. But I can't believe there's only 16 to go. She must have cracked 1,000 tonight. It must be there.
Well, we could check really quick and we can see.
Can we? Should we close on that? Where is Amy?
Amy Astro. Let's see. She probably watch her not get one.
I don't know. Someone's unsubscribed. Don't be cruel. Don't do that.
At the beginning of the show, she was how many away?
984.
No, stop. Really?
Yeah.
Now she's at 983.
Oh no! It wasn't me. It was not me.
Amy, it's all our fault. It's all our fault.
Oh, fun.
So I'm gonna make up somebody, and I'm gonna get you that 984 back.
Right. Okay. On that bombshell.
Whoops. It's really not funny, but it's funny. But
sorry, Amy.
Anyway, guys, good night. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes running today. Thank you. Remember, as always, keep shooting, keep educating, keep having fun. That's what we do. Astrophotography. Have a good night from AstroWorld and Backyard Astro Imaging Club.
Okay, night from the UK. Bye for now.
Don't forget the raffle.
No.
Don't forget the raffle. Have a good night, guys.